What is love? This is crazy.
Hi guys, what's up? I'm back with another video, and today I decided to do a video on how to moisturize this natural hair in the winter time. It's freaking cold outside. Where I live, it's like a ice storm. Well, it was supposed to be an ice storm, but now it's just freezing cold outside, and we're not used to these temperatures because we live in the south, you know. But I don't know, I'm just staying inside. So let's get started on my top tips on moisturizing your hair in the winter. Use them, use them, use them. Hats just aren't for the look, but they're for protection. Protection of your eyes, protection of your hair, protection of your skin. So use hats to protect your hair from the elements. And when I say put on a hat, I don't mean put on a hat and then have all this hair out, because especially this hair, this is the most fragile hair. I mean, your ends are like really fragile in comparison to your roots. So when you put a hat on to protect it from the elements, put your whole entire hair in it if you can, just to make sure that it's all protected. Like yesterday, it was freezing cold, so I decided to put my hair in a bun, and then, which I usually do, and then put my handy dandy beanie on. I use this beanie for deep conditioning, for protecting my hair, for I don't feel like taking my hair out, for my hair is wet, I'm not taking it out, for I'm not messing with my hair days. So it gets used a lot. And I suggest if you don't have one, get one, because it's very important. A lot of people talk about what type of hat you need. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really knowledgeable on that, but I do know they say get acrylic because that's supposed to be better than using the typical beanie hat. But if you don't have acrylic, just do what I do. Put a silk bonnet on top of your actual hair as a barrier, then put this on top and you'll be just fine. When I say hot oil treatments, I don't mean go to the beauty supply store and buy a hot oil treatment, a product that says hot oil treatments. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you have an oil that you like, or an oil that just works on your hair, that you get great results with, really use that oil to your advantage. Warm it up. I mean, I would suggest just getting a hot bowl of water, hot water, and then placing another small container of the oil in the hot bowl instead of microwaving it, because sometimes you can overcook the oil. But anyways, do that, and then what you'll do is actually use it to do a scalp massage. Take the oil, massage it through your scalp first, and as I've talked about scalp massages in the previous video, they produce circulation. Circulation produces hair growth. Hair growth is what everyone is talking about, so I'm assuming that you would want to do a scalp massage. And then after you do your scalp massage, take the rest of the oil, drench your hair in it. Especially your freaking ends. Drench these bad boys. And just seal your hair in general with oil. I've already talked about hot oil treatments, but anytime you use a product that it's supposed to be known to give you moisture. A lot of people like using cream products, and I do too. I really like using a cream product because it kind of coats my hair. Like, I feel like it's making a difference on my hair instead of using something that's like watery. But once you use that, make sure you seal your entire hair with an oil, so the moisture that's in that product that is supposed to be going into your hair can stay in your hair, because you're sealing it with the oil. And that's pretty much a known fact. If you don't know that, I'm glad you know it now, because I just told you. Yeah, this is my third time bringing up oil. But if you do not use oils, some people do not like oil. Some people's hair just doesn't do well with oil. It's just overwhelming their hair when they put an oil on their hair. If you don't use an oil and you use creamy products, make sure you use a product that is oil based. When I say oil based, I mean the ingredients list a oil within the first 3 ingredients. It's either the first ingredient, the second, or the third, or I would say the first 5, but I prefer within the first 3 ingredients, so you know that majority of the product is oil. You know what I mean? And that's the point of it. Use that, because at the end of the day, oils are essential to your hair. Your hair naturally produces oils to sustain the health of your hair. So a lot of times with us naturals, we complain because our scalp produces oil, but it doesn't get to the very shaft and the ends of our coils, because our hair is so curly or coily or kinky that by the time it gets about like right here, it's just like done. Like, you can't take all that up and down, jumping around, you know, right to left that we all have in our hair within each strand. So that's why we end up with dry hair. So I say that to say, since we can't naturally make our natural oils come all the way down to our hair shell, we have to make up for it by putting oil in our hair in some type of form, whether it's just natural oil or whether it's products that have oil in it. And that's very important to just sustain the moisture in your hair, especially when it's cold outside like it is right now. Satin bonnets, satin scarves, satin pillow cases. Very important. Your hair is already dry if you are natural or curly. I am assuming, I mean, some people might have like really, really oily hair, but I'm assuming that most people complain about their hair being naturally dry if it's naturally curly. Satin bonnets, satin scarves, satin pillowcases help with this, y'all. I mean, I know half of us grew up with it, but a lot of us didn't. A lot of us might have grew up with wearing, you know, bandanas. I know a lot of my friends that I grew up with will wear bandanas to sleep, the cotton bandanas that we all used to wear, and not even, you know, realize that they should have been wearing satin or silk scarves. Or I know a lot of people wear cotton scarves and I don't even think they realize that it's not satin. It looks like a satin, but you can tell it's a cotton. So when you question why your hair is excessively dry, or why your hair keeps on getting lint in it, or why your hair looks shiny today and looks dull the next day, it might be because of what you're sleeping on. And it might be just a simple change like that that can fix it. Now, the reason I put this tip in here is because even if your hair isn't dry, in the winter time, it probably will show a little bit of dryness. Or even if your hair is dry, in the summertime, you'll notice it might be a little bit more moist because of the moisture in the air. In the wintertime, it's super dry. So taking preventative measures like making sure that you don't get too, you know, full of yourself, that you stop wearing your satin scarves and your satin bonnets because you're trying to be all sexy when you go to sleep, and then you wake up and your hair looks all crazy because you didn't want to wear nothing on your head. But I suggest wearing these. I know it's hard because sometimes you just don't want to look like a grandma when you go to sleep. You want to look like you look in the daytime, and that's why I suggest getting a satin pillowcase, because then at least you could put your hair in a pineapple or do whatever you do when you go to sleep to your natural hair, and then just go to sleep on your pillowcase and be done, and not have to worry about these falling off like they constantly do off my head. But next tip. Stay out of the cold when necessary. I'm a cheerleader today. Anyway, stay out of the cold when necessary. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people work, a lot of people go to school, a lot of people do things that you can't avoid staying in the cold for. But if you can't avoid being in the cold weather, I suggest you do. Because a lot of times we do activities that involve us standing outside in the cold air. Like, for example, I mean, I know me, like if I'm going out, say I'm going out somewhere, it could be a restaurant, it could be anywhere, and say it's nighttime, now I have the common sense to say, okay, if we don't have to stand outside and talk for 30 minutes. We don't have to do unnecessarily be outside for long periods of time. And if we are, I'm gonna take the preventative measure of wearing something with a hood or wearing a scarf around my head. You know, it's just being mindful, like I say in another video, just always be mindful of what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it's not about being picky, particular, specific, or just being a anal person, but it's just being mindful about what environment your hair is in if you want it to sustain its health and sustain its length. So I thought I would throw those tips out there for you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below. And I'll see you guys later. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I always forget to say that. Follow me on Instagram at theefairytail, theefairytail. Yes, it's spelled like that.